Hey, everybody. How are you? Okay. The live stream of the Eric Zane Show podcast. It has begun with an on-time start time. Hold on a minute. Not only is it on time, but I actually started the countdown clock like at 7:59 in order, because that first minute is counting down like, get ready for the show. Get ready for here comes Dickhead. And then boom, there it is. What's going on? Oh, man. All right. Man, so many things to talk about today. I just want to just get right after it. But let me do this. Of course, on the free podcast, it is funded by the sponsors. If I didn't have the sponsors, we have no podcast. So thank you to Tag Accounting. Tax time is here. Don't sweat it, okay? And forget about doing it yourself and white knuckling it and spending 6 hours on a Saturday and then you don't even get it done. And it's, God, you're pulling your hair out. You're freaking out. You fat-fingered something. The math is all jacked. Okay, this is what you do. Drop a very, very small amount of money and let Tag Accounting do it for you. And then you just say, all right, here's all my documents. Smell you later. He gives you a date and a time that he's doing your taxes. Keep your phone by you. You don't have to be there. You do this all like through the internet. The magic of the online portal, uploading all your documents. Maybe give you a call while he's doing your taxes. Get some specifics about things that you may have submitted or whatever. Okay, I'm done. Okay, what now? Well, I'll email you your return, and then your money should be in your bank account in a couple of days. What? Yeah, that's it. Okay. And then you don't have to do a damn thing. 616-301-9516. That's 616-301-9516. Call and say, Eric Zane sent me, please. You can also email Troy at tagcpa.net. Their website is, of course, that, tagcpa.net. So there you go. Thank you. JM Synthetics in Saranac, Michigan, distributes AMSOIL products. Okay? 3 ways you can get the goods, which AMSOIL invented synthetic motor oil, by the way. It is the best. We had Zaniac Allen from Blue Frost IT. He actually looked up a viscosity test and determined that AMSOIL doesn't break down nearly as fast. It's the most sturdy of all the oils, all these synthetic motor oils. If you are a DIY pro, you need a case of AMSOIL laying around. All you got to do if you want to be able to get at AMSOIL products is to go to JM Synthetics. The absolute, there's 2 great ways to do this. First of all, you can go to Ionia Outdoors, okay, nestled right in the middle of nowhere, and pick up a case or whatever you want at the AMSOIL display. That's JM Synthetics. Or you go to jmsynthetics.com. You can order it online. But the way that helps my man Jason at JM Synthetics the most is if you look online, go, okay, I want that, that, and that. And then there's a number on there, 616-747-0233. Call him and say, yeah, Jason, I see you on the podcast all the time. Thanks for helping out Zane. I'll take a case to go. When you do buy something, let me know. You get a free cameo. I'll hook you up with a free cameo for you or someone you know, whoever's balls you want me to bust. That's all part of it. So take advantage of that. Hang on. I think we're better today. I think I'm only coughing like every 5th word. Of course, my friends at Blue Frost IT, as I mentioned a second ago, the managed IT service provider for the podcast. Please go to their website, bluefrostit.com. And they tell you what, it's quite a sight to behold. It's a full spectrum IT consulting and support company, able to offer a broad range of services to clients to ensure all aspects of their network is managed and secure. A lot of businesses have this type of expertise at their disposal. A lot of bigger businesses. Smaller businesses don't have that luxury. You do now with Blue Frost IT. For whatever you need, network security, VPN, cloud network support, virtualization, antivirus, computer and server refreshes, upgrading and migrations, Whether you are on a managed IT service contract or if you just need them hourly or even month to month, whatever you need, reach out to Blue Frost IT 616-200-8550. It is the 23rd of February, 2021. Podcasting from, we're not broadcasting. The podcast is coming to you from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio, the beacon of DIY awesomeness in the Northland. The Eric Zane Show podcast begins now. Rick, this is for you, buddy.
Hello, this is Rick from TC Paintball. You're listening to the Eric Zane Show, a show where the host makes the audience create intros, complains about them, and then refuses to play the correct ones. And now, because I'm required to, here's Eric Zane.
There you go. That's the way you do it, Rick. See, that's a hell of a lot better. Took you long enough to get that to me, too. What the hell? Welcome in. This is the daily podcast where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. Monday through Friday, right here. I just realized that I didn't even start recording the damn thing, the audio. I'm a jackass. Just when I think I got my act together. Podcast comes to you each and every day, one of several sources. You can get it live via Facebook, facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page. Hello to the live audience there. Thank you so much for being part of it. If you could, please share it and like it. That's awesome. On Twitter, that is a Periscope video brought to you by Blue Frost IT. Please retweet it with a smart-ass comment about how much you hate it and how much it sucks. And give me a like. I appreciate that. You know, the little heart icon. And then on YouTube, the almighty YouTube, search me Eric Zane Show. If YouTube is your thing, that's brought to you by F45 in Byron Center. If you could, subscribe to the page, hit the bell notification so you know when I go live, and then give me a thumbs up like. And as always, the audio podcast, wherever you download podcasts, you can download it and listen to it without, all the visual aspect. If you're just kind of like using it while you work, you don't want to use up all that data or whatever, or burn your battery down. Download the audio podcast if you could. Subscribe to it. I appreciate that. I get an internet point if you do subscribe to it. So thank you so much. And as always, this is all available at ericzaneshow.com. Okay. Wow. Just a ton of stuff to get to once again on this show. It is, first of all, the sun is out. The temperature is rising out here in beautiful West Michigan. Snow melting. Who knows? Maybe we'll get another blast of winter before it's all said and done. But it's starting to feel a little bit like it's starting to thaw. Like we're getting to that point where it's like we got to start thinking about spring because what? We are less than 1 month away to the official start of spring. My pitchers, baseball spring training is happening. NASCAR is a thing. We've got the Golden Globes. This is always a true thing. Then you know that spring is coming because all these things are happening. Golden Globes and then the Oscars. It's like, oh yeah, shit, man. Before long, it's got to be 95 degrees out. Okay. A lot of ground to cover on the show today, amazingly. And this is just another gender reveal disaster. Thank you to all of you who sent me these stories. By the way, I appreciate it. If you ever want to contribute to the show, you can send me a story that you think I might find interesting. Just send the link to me. There are some of you, Dirk, who send me, you kind of try to send me nice, interesting stories along with nonsense propaganda. I just throw that stuff away. Don't be offended by that. I just delete it. I don't want anything to do with that. But the fun stories I'll be happy to talk about. So this one isn't really fun, though, but it's just shocking that this keeps happening. Another gender reveal disaster. Holy crap. The company Jeep, Daimler Chrysler Jeep, is feeling the heat, okay, from the Cherokee Nation because the Jeep Cherokee. 'Tis the season for this. Now, I take all of these on a case-by-case basis. The football team formerly known as the Washington Redskins. Get that out of here. The Cleveland Indians. Yeah, get that out of here. You know, a long, rich history of Chief Wahoo with the big hook nose and a guy running around dressed up like a Native American. Atlanta Braves. Fuck those guys. They made up the tomahawk chop. Get those guys out of here. Screw that, too. Florida Seminoles. I don't know yet. I'd have to research that a little bit more. My alma mater, the Central Michigan University Chippewas. No, you got to keep that. Keep that there. Why, Zane? Well, because the school worked with the Chippewa tribe. And the Chippewa tribe said, okay, this is what we want you to do. We want you to take off any type of logo that has to do with violence or war or aggression. Spear, anything like that. There used to be a spear on the helmet. They said, we don't like that. Just put CMU or a C on the helmet. Okay. And then they worked very, very closely with the tribe. And the tribe said, all right, we're good. Handshake. All right, we're good. Come to our casino. So that one's okay. What else? Oh, Aunt Jemima. Oh, thank God they got rid of that. Yeah, a happy slave on a bottle of frickin' syrup. Get that shit out of here. Uncle Ben. What? Yeah, he's gone too. I'll give you my opinion as to what should happen with the Jeep Cherokee. New video that is a couple days late of Mars. That's amazing. And what Mars sounds like. I can hear the eye rolls from some of you. But my gosh, is this awesome. So video and sound. What Mars sounds like. Oh my God, it's 250 miles away. You know how long it took? That spacecraft was traveling like 25,000 miles an hour. And it took from July to February to get there. That's how far away this place is. And we dropped with a parachute run by artificial intelligence and a rocket pack. We put that thing down on the planet. You guys better respect that shit. It's awesome. And we've got HD video of every single bit of it. This is what I was talking about when I told you that I was under the impression that was going to be seen live. That was not the case. But what I said is all true. And now it's visible. Oh, I am so happy about this. And I sent that off to Jason from Hey Guys Media Group, Threads Podcast, and Gig Economy Podcast. I go, this is for your son. Watch this shit. All right. Stand by. There's a new podcast coming out that is going to get some attention. I cannot wait to hear this. I'm really interested in it. And some of you are going to wrinkle up your nose. I know that. But I and it might be all bullshit. In fact, I imagine it will be. But I hope that they talk some interesting stories. Just all you got to do is interest me. I don't care if I like you or I don't like you, if I support you or I don't support you. If you interest me, you got me. Okay? I've got an email of the day. Somebody who is trying to twist my arm into making a video recipe for you. And I will read that. That is your email of the day. But first, let me get started with this on the open. You got to understand, right now, as we've been doing this show, there has been more than one, and this has happened before, in a room where I'm sitting here in a dormer above my garage, surrounded by dogs, where occasionally this will happen, where one of the dogs will fart. And I have a thought that I think I know who it is today. And let me just tell you that it is remarkably more concentrated and strong today. And I knew this was going to happen, and I know you can't even see him right now. He's out of the shot. It's Bruce. I know it's Bruce. I just have the strongest feeling in the world that it's Bruce doing it, because there was a change to his diet yesterday. Okay. All the dogs eat the same food. Daisy, O'Neill, Benny, the one-eyed wonder dog, and Bruce. But Bruce is a little bit finicky. And sometimes you'll put the food in there and he'll look at it and then he'll look up at you and says, I don't want to eat this. So a lot of times we'll have to pick up like pieces of it one at a time and give it to him. And then he might eat it then. Sometimes he does. And then it'll kind of like prime the pump. And then he goes, all right, yeah, I guess I do like it. And then he'll eat it. Yesterday, he did not eat yesterday morning. And then in the evening, he's like, I'm not going to eat again. And I'm like, well, geez, man, now you got to eat, okay? I don't want you withering away. So I go, all right, maybe I can liven up the same thing you eat. Now, the other dogs, they just murder it, not Bruce. So I go, well, maybe there's some gravy or something, or I can come up with something that's just right. That'll be good for him. And there's nothing in the fridge. So I'm like, well, maybe there's something in the pantry. So I walk in there. I'm looking around. Now, when the pandemic started, I went and bought a bunch of bug out food. Now, the food that I bought is food that I don't normally eat. I bought a bunch of food just in case there was some reason that we weren't able to access food I was preparing. I was like a prepper. I had all these gallons. I had like 50 gallons of water ready to go. And I went to the store and I bought a bunch of food. So canned vegetables and something that I don't even eat, canned meat. Okay. Corned beef and Spam. Now, I don't ever eat this shit. So it's just like on the shelf right now. And I haven't even really opened any of them. But they're good for like 50 years, it seems like. And so I go, well, I'm going to open up some of this corned beef. And it's the kind that you got like the key and you like turn it and then the lid comes off. And then so I'm shaking it onto the plate and I swear on a stack of Bibles that made the noise when it popped out. And I'm like, oh my God. And it smelled like dog food. And I go, well, this is dog food. This is perfect. And it's cheap. I mean, it's cheaper than dog food. Think about that. The food that is fit for human consumption, supposedly, is cheaper than a can of whatever dog food he would eat. So I go, okay. All right. Now, in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, I hope this doesn't mess with his digestive system. I go, well, it's got to be of sound ingredients, right? It's people eat this. Nope. It's gonna mess with them, sure enough. So I cleave off a hunk of this molded meat surprise. It's got like little potato bits in it. It's corned beef hash, and you're supposed to cook it. Okay. Now with a dog's digestive system, they can eat raw food. It's not a big deal for them. So I put it in there and I blend it all up. And he's like, holy shit. Oh, man, this is great. Now, this is what I'm talking about, man. Yes. So he just like, wow, wow, wow. And so now I'm like, okay. So he ate. Excellent. This morning, I put the dry dog food in there and he looks at me and goes, oh, no, you're not. I want more. Give me more. And so, about a third of that Jell-O mold meat potato surprise bullshit is all it takes. So I've still got plenty left over from the one can. So basically a cheap ass can can feed the dog for about 3 meals. So I cleave off another one and I mince it up and then I heat it up and he's like, oh yes. Now his smashed face pushes the food down into the bowl. And there comes a point when the food is flat on the bowl, he can't get it with his mouth because his face is smashed like that. So then he makes me scoop it with a spoon and I have to feed him just like a baby. I swear to God. So I'm feeding Bruce this food and the other dog, hey, how come he gets that? We don't get that. What the fuck? So he finishes that. And then the rest of the story is, well, you can figure it out. We sit down here and I'm getting ready to do the show. And then it just hits me in my stupid face. I'm like, oh my God. And I got this heater blowing behind me. So the heat is mixing with the froth air. And it's just like kicking this hot fecal fume right in there. It's just like, oh, and it's not even a hint of normal clean air. It would be like if I was blindfolded and I walked up and put my nose 1 inch from a fresh turd and just went, it's that concentrated. Wow. So, oh boy, I'm at a loss. Now I somehow I got to wean him off of this food, but he needed to eat, but that's where we stand right now. So that is the disclaimer. If you notice while you're watching the show, if you're listening, all you'll be able to do is hear me go, oh my God. But if you notice me like wrinkle up my nose, it's because it's happened again. Oh, all right. But bad news on the eating front for that. But let me just brag. You know, I love to brag. I had a successful day of eating yesterday. Now, it's a damn good thing, too, because I had my shirt off yesterday, and I actually avoid looking at myself in the mirror. But I had to actually look at myself. And it's so bad that my muffin top is starting to get those little dimples, those fat dimples, because the body is like, doesn't know where to put it all. And it's just like throwing it in spots that's already full. And it's making my belly look like, you know, a topographical relief map of the moon. And it's real cellulite and shitty looking. And I'm like, oh my God. But yesterday was a good day. I was successful. So I'm going to try to build on that momentum today on the diet bet. All right. So yesterday it basically boiled down to all good things. I'll spare you the gory details. It was nothing weird at all. I think the strangest thing, the thing that could have been the most suspect that I had was like a grape. Okay. But I did eat, I had a big salad. Oh my God. I had a protein drink. I had a couple of egg whites. There's hope, but I got to keep this up. It is a busy day today here in the household. In fact, the way this sets up is just a absolute set them up, knock them down. Get done with this podcast. Today, I've got the world famous Candy Crusher, Linda Hall, Candy Crush Queen, taking on Dale in Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia on my Patreon. That will start at 10:30. Okay? Depending on what... I got to get done with this podcast probably at like only about a 90-minute runtime today, because then as soon as I get done with it, not only do I have to prep for Smarter Than a Drug Dealer Trivia on the Patreon, I've got to prep for the Patreon podcast, because as soon as I get done with the Patreon podcast or the trivia game, I got to turn it around and get back after it on Patreon with the bonus podcast, because today is the day, one of the busiest in recorded history for your old pal Eric. At 12:15, I got to go back to Dr. Bitesplint, my dentist, so I can get my one of 2 lectures every year about how much he wants me to wear a bite splint. And he has to examine my teeth and mouth. When I went to the dentist a month ago, they just did the cleaning. Remember, my insurance was screwy, and they sent me home. They said, come back when the insurance is in order. It is now. Okay, great. We got that. And I'm like, okay, no big deal. We'll just hammer that out, and then I'll get it done. And my original plan was do that and come back into the Patreon. Because at 1:30, I've got to be at my doctor's because I got to get blood drawn. I said drawn. I got to get blood drawn. It's for my physical. I've got the yearly physical. Do you guys get a yearly physical, or are you one of these people that says, nah, you realize you're contributing to the lowering of the age of expectant life for people in the United States if you don't do that? Because especially women, this is my message to you. If you don't see the doctor and your OB regularly, and ladies, of course, get your mammogram. If you don't get the mammogram, if you blow it off because you're one of these idiots who says, I'm scared of the doctor, no, I'm not doing it, and you have the means to do it, and you bypass this, by whatever means necessary, get your mammogram. And the reason why is because if you get it every year, the amount of time you're not going to be able to have cancer get very large if you do it every year. If you do have any spot on the breast tissue, which is susceptible to tumor growth, it's going to be very, very small, like stage 1 or stage 2. And it might not even be cancerous. It's very, very important that you do this, because if you wait, you're not going to be able to catch it until it's too late. And then you're looking at double mast, and then it's gone to other organs in your body, and you're dead. And we don't want you dead. Okay? So please go to the doctor every single year. Men, it's ultra important for you to do this. You got to get the just get your system checked out, man. You don't have anything like, you don't have nearly as much of a concern about breast cancer, but there are other things that you need to worry about. So go see your doctor each and every year. This is the time to do it. This is the time for me to do it. Okay. Sorry, that's my soapbox for the day, but I want you around. Please don't do it because you're just stubborn. Okay? Get to the doctor. After that, first of all, I heard from the young man who I talked to you about last week, who did a very, very brave thing and took the first step towards recovering from drug abuse. And I'm not really going to talk about this any more than this going forward. But I know you're interested because I gave you some information about last time. There has been a successful completion of the inpatient program. And so today I am picking this young man up and going on to the next step. And it will be this is the last I'm going to talk about it, because we're now getting to the point where we're just working together in the program. So that's it. But thank you for thinking about him. It is all good. We've got a new lease on life, and it's going to be awesome. So I'm very, very happy with how it's gone. So that's today. All going on. Okay, I want to get to some feedback from yesterday's podcast. The world-famous Brad Allen checks in. Now, Brad, old radio veteran, and he was working at Cumulus when I was working there. And unfortunately, he said, you know what? I'm waving the white flag and getting out of the business, at least for the time being. And Brad lives around me here in this part of West Michigan. And he actually lasted a couple years after I got blown out. And then finally he said, you know what? I think I can do better. So I'm hoping, Brad, that one day the old guys like you and I might be able to continue doing what we do now and then maybe get back in some part-time fashion. I would like that. I would actually like to be on the air locally part-time, but I honestly don't think that's in the cards. Brad wanted to weigh in because yesterday we were talking on the podcast about the SpaceX flight raising $200 million for St. Jude. And I, threw off the off the cuff the comment about, oh, yeah, when are they going to find a cure to cancer, man? They're getting all this money. When the hell are they going to find? When is there going to be a cure? And Brad, oh, man, he wrote this on the comments of yesterday's show. I'm a massive St. Jude supporter, Eric. Don't get me started, LOL. Money is helping, because I was like, what goes on with that money? And then he wrote this, and I didn't know this, so thank you for informing me, Brad. Survival rate of acute lymphoblastic leukemia when St. Jude opened in 1962 was 4%, a death sentence, basically. Now, survivability is 94%. And St. Jude's, that facility, costs $2 million a day just to keep the doors open. Wow. I had no idea. Thank you. And then he also wrote this. Acute lymphoblastic leukemia is the most common form of childhood cancer. Overall, average childhood cancer rate has gone from 20% to 80% thanks to St. Jude. Wow. Excuse me. Patients and families never receive a bill. So that is where a ton of that money is going to, and they freely share discoveries and treatments with other hospitals worldwide. Okay, now I'm done. That was a soapbox moment, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you informing me. Excellent. Well done. Oh, we just got hit with a face full of stink. Ooh. Yikes. That is painful. A little bit more email feedback I want to get to from yesterday's show. Excuse me. During the discussion about the plane and how the big explosion, and then they had to fly back on one motor, and then the Facebook crowd or the YouTube crowd, I don't know who it was, started giving me shit. I see the line, and it threw me off, and it said, "Yeah, it's an engine, not a motor. It's called an engine, man." And I was like, "What the? Huh?" Randall writes, "GM. It's not called General Engines, is it? So you are entirely fine by calling an engine a motor and vice versa." He even looked up motor. It's a noun. A machine, especially one powered by electricity or internal combustion. See, a-holes? That supplies motive power for a vehicle or for some other device with moving parts. There you go. What do you think of that? I feel better now. I feel better already. Those are the type of things that I'm like, how is it that's what we're bitching about? My God. All right. Either way, thank you. That is the open of the Eric Zane Show podcast, and there is a whole lot more where that comes from, with about, 12, 13, 14 hours of additional content every week on my Patreon. The Patreon has no sponsorships to it. It's just the show, okay? And that's because it's set up behind a paywall. So if people like the freebie and they want to join the Patreon, then that's for you. Okay, if you just want to try it out, it'll set you back $5 or $10 for 1 month. The $5 is all the audio. The $10 is all the audio and all the video and the live streams and the whole archive for both of those. So there you go. And I do the bonus podcast every day. I do Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia, the Insane Asylum, which is my radio show on Q100 up north. You get it commercial free and before it hits the air. I also give you the lost Zane recordings from WBBL. It's like an audio time capsule. We're on June of 2016 right now. All the stars on that: Doan, Julius, Ben, Stu McAllister, Jenny Garoni, Ron, Gravy, Michelle McCormick, Rachel. Kenny loves Rachel so much. He loves her laugh. Oh, God, who else? All the guests. There's a couple of shows that even Russ Hines is on, at least one. I don't know why I did that. I wish I hadn't. I wish when Russ Hines came in, I would have just punched him in the face, because that's what he deserves. But anyway, that's part of the Lost Zane recordings. And then, of course, the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. That happens each week, which features the Bet on Ben game. Interactive. You play with us. $5 or $10 a month. Try it. You don't like it, cancel it. You get the month for the rest of the month. It doesn't just stop. You get the rest of the month, and then it won't auto-renew. But if you like it, sign up for the year, and I'll give you 10% off. Thank you to my friends at the Kent County Health Department. Their website, accesskent.com/health. All the info about the vaccine that Zaniacs like Dirk and Dean and Nick and the Schaefers, it makes them so happy, probably a little bit wet, because they're all about it. They're definitely all about that. I'm totally kidding. They want to beat my ass every time I talk about it. But to each their own. Kent County Health Department, accesskent.com/health for info about the vaccine and the virus. If you need to get tested, it's all there. In fact, as soon as you go to that spot online, accesskent.com/health gives you everything you need. It opens up on that page. if you are, if there's trouble right now keeping food on the table, reach out to the Kent County Health Department about the WIC program. Hey, you pay into it your whole life. Okay, it's federally funded. Take advantage of it if you need it. If you qualify, you get a card loaded up with money, and then you buy the food and you feed the family. What the hell, right? When we're having fun, you can have fun with Cornhole America by getting a set of customized cornhole boards. You can put anything, and I mean anything, even this guy who's on my mask, okay? You can get this guy on a set of cornhole boards. Would that not be hilarious? I'm holding up my mask with that big, giant porn star guy. Send me that thing, by the way. CornholeAmerica.com. You can even take advantage of purchasing the Eric Zane Show podcast cornhole boards. When you get to their website, search my name in the search field, and it'll take you right to it. And whenever I post about it, I always put a link up to my boards. Bags, you can make custom bags, custom boards. If you got a wedding coming up, outdoor wedding, indoor wedding, doesn't matter. You can get the bride and groom customized with their initials or their images on a set of cornhole boards. And pretty damn affordable, too. And these are professional quality cornhole boards. CornholeAmerica.com, a West Michigan company sending cornhole boards all across the United States. And then my pals over at BK Guns and Stuff, they are fixing everybody's weaponry. If your gun is in bad shape, it needs to be repaired, customized, clean, refurbished, whatever you need, they take care of it. BK Guns and Stuff. And again, from anywhere in the United States. Reach out to them about how to get the weaponry to them. There is a right way and a wrong way to do it. 616-902-2447, 616-902-2447. Or just go to ericzaneshow.com, click on their logo. It'll take you right to their Facebook page, and you can reach out to them that way. All right. Let's get to the email of the day. It's brought to you by Forever Lawn West Michigan. Online at foreverlawn.com/WMI. Either business or residential, synthetic grass is a thing, especially if you have like new construction or something like that going on. It looks and feels just like real perfect grass. Will always look and feel that way, and you never have to do anything to it. That's really cool. Reach out to them and see how much it's going to cost you. You'll get an estimate. Also, canine grass, bocce grass, golf greens, athletic fields, whatever you need. They got it all. Forever Lawn, West Michigan. I should say foreverlawn.com/WMI. Paul writes this. Dude, I love the podcast so much. Thank you very much. I've recently realized it's the only podcast I make sure I never miss. Wow, that's great. I really appreciate that, man. And I'm not just reading this just because you're blowing smoke up my cornhole, but because I want to get to something else here. But that, I'm telling you, puts wins in your old pal Eric Zane's sales. Your podcast game is strong, he said. I think he's buttering me up. He said, with that said, you keep taunting us with these amazing recipes that you make. He says, it makes me hungry every time you talk about it, asshole. So this is what I'm thinking. And I'm glad he's doing this because I've been meaning to do it, but it's all a matter of time. And then I'm like, oh, God, I run out of time, but I got to do this. And this is a great way to get me to do this. He says, I will commit to Patreon a full year out of the gate if you can video the entire process of making the world famous Slaughter the Turks crispy chicken sandwich. Damn it. Every time you talk about it, I have to go to Chick-fil-A. I figure I'm saving money. For the love of God, the NFK fucking loves that shit. Man, I love that shit, man. Fucking shit. Yeah, man. I fucking love that. And anything that doesn't get the middle finger from that dude has to be on point. Please let us know when you do a video of this. We got to eat, and it might as well be good. Signed, Paul. Well, let me tell you, I love the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, but it's just not the same. It's just not as good. It's not as good as what I do. Okay. Mine is as good or better than Popeyes. Popeyes is very good. Popeyes is better than Chick-fil-A, but I think mine has Popeyes beat. And there's a protocol that goes into that to make this a thing. And yes, I will commit to this, Paul. I will get this done before you know it, because frankly, after I saw the tuition bill that I have for Madison going to Hope yesterday, I'm like, oh my God, I have sticker shock. So I need you. So that's a great idea. That is a great idea. All right. You can count on that, Paul. That is your Forever Lawn West Michigan email of the day, brought to you by foreverlawn.com/WMI. Every time I get to a gender reveal story, I have to then add another bit of ridiculousness of things that have happened from gender reveals. And then the telling of the next story gets longer. We had the plane crash in Texas. Forget that one. How did that one go? I think it was like a plane buzzing by, and then, like you might see somebody crop dusting or something like that. Like chemicals over the farm. The pilot was flying at a low altitude. This is back in 2019, September 7th, 2019. And the pilot dumped 350 gallons of pink water, but the dummy was going too slow, stalled the plane, crashed it. 2 people on the plane, passenger minor injuries. The pilot was not hurt. The wildfire in Southern California. The guy blew up the tannerite. And no, there was two wildfires that started in California. There was the smoke bomb, and then there was the guy who blew up the tannerite that started one of those massive fires. I mean, like loss of life and incredible amount of damage. Then there was the one where they had the mortar, and it blew up. This is about a year and a half ago, and the metal went flying everywhere, and it actually went through Grandma's head. So she never got to see the baby, because the only thing she got to see was the metal flying through her face, dead. Okay. And then last month in near Flint, Michigan, some dummy was getting ready. He had like a cannon that he was going to shoot at the gender reveal. Now, the cannon wasn't going to shoot off the powder or anything like that. But the cannon blew up. Same reason why the mortar launcher and the previous one blew up. They put too much explosives in it. So these dummies think that the explosion is going to shoot out the open end, and it's too much explosives, and it just blows up the metal. So Dum Dum and Flint, he fires off the cannon when they reveal what it is, and the cannon blows up, and it goes through like a family member's head. He's dead, or hit him in the chest. That was a month ago. Okay, so now you're like, how does the word not get out? How do you not know that this is a bad idea? How did this guy, Christopher Peckney, and his 27-year-old brother, Michael Peckney, not know that this was a thing? This one is, they're all heinously sad, but ridiculously stupid. It's all Darwinism, okay? Christopher Peckney is the dad-to-be. So he's making a bomb to shoot off whatever. Here you go. You know how it is. Blue smoke, pink smoke, whatever. He's building the bomb with his dumb brother. in some community in the state of New York. Liberty, New York. Well, while constructing the damn thing, the thing blows up and the dude is dead. The dad is dead. He's never going to see his fucking kid. Oh, my God. Oh. Incredible. 28-year-old man dead. Cops didn't give any info about what type of info it was. A brother was heard. The dad is never. I cannot believe this. After the wildfire last year, Jenna Karvounidis, who invented the gender reveal, she's the one who, see, this is all caused by, hey, look at me syndrome. This is what this is. She did the very first gender reveal, and I don't know what she did for that. It was probably just, cut a cake, and if it's pink, it's a girl, and if it's, blue, it's a boy. She is credited with doing the first gender reveal. Now, she feels bad about this. She's like, for the love of God, stop. Stop having these stupid parties. Stop burning things down and tell everyone about your kid's penis. No one cares but you, she wrote. And she's right. But she feels responsible. She feels like it's her fault. Look, it's not. Somebody would have thought about it ahead of time or after the fact that you didn't do it. If you hadn't done it, somebody else would have done it. But my God, we have just a steady supply of stupid people dying because of this. This is so dumb. In a weird, morbid way, it's almost better for the kid that the kid no longer has to be raised by such a stupid ass. That's a horrible thing to say. But I kind of believe it. This fucking dummy. How the hell do you do this? So now mom has to go meet a new guy and pretend like that's the dad. That's what has to happen going forward because this stupid idiot is now dead. Idiot. My God. How dumb are you? Horrible. All right. When it comes to cameos, I'm the best. Okay. Do it that way for a gender reveal. Have me reveal. That's the extent of what you should do. Cameo.com/Eric Zane on your desktop or laptop. Upon further review, I think the only way, because somebody reached out to me, I think it was Jason, said the only way you can leave a tip on Cameo, if that's what you want to do, and I don't care if you do or you don't, but some people are always like, hey, how do I give Zane a tip? The only way to do it is on the desktop, which is strange. And I think Jason reached out to Cameo and said, well, why don't you have that on the app? They go, yeah, you can't do it that way. Well, why? Why the hell not? Unless they've upgraded it. So one of two ways. The best way, the absolute best way is desktop or laptop, cameo.com/Eric Zane. Second best way is on the Cameo app. Any other way through any other app, not a good idea. They gouge the hell out of your old pal Eric Zane. $15.99 on Cameo. Please hire me. I appreciate it. Goes a long way in keeping the show afloat. Believe it or not. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. Hold on a second here. Nick says, I'm starting to get on the side of folks saying that the kids can decide their gender just so this shit can stop happening. Josh says that Cameo is pulling an Amazon. They're going to keep your tips. Yeah. Uh-huh. Jason, about the Chick-fil-A sauce or Chick-fil-A sandwich, he says, I don't know, man. That Chick-fil-A sauce is pretty freaking good on just about everything. Yeah, that's true. But you got to understand, my sandwich, the taste of the actual filet is what sells the sandwich, okay? The difference is not only the filet and the breading and how it's cooked, it's the bun. The bun has to be browned in a very little bit of really hot olive oil, okay? You toast it on the actual cast iron. That changes everything. They do not do that at those restaurants. I'm going to give you that caramelized carbohydrate goodness on the taste sensation when you bite into it. I promise you, I would win a taste test against any of those chicken sandwiches. You can take me up on that. Now Now that dude has said that I have to do this, I am going to do that. And we can actually do a taste test. Okay? I promise. I promise. Thank you to Mario at the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Jeez, I'm having a hard time today. I'm talking too fast. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. 231-332-6505 if you need to get into a mortgage, okay? If your credit is great, you can get a mortgage damn near 2%, maybe even lower. If your credit's in the dumper, that's okay. We can get you into a loan. He can get you into a loan. You'll be paying on your own mortgage instead of paying it to a slumlord. And then he's going to get you out of that mortgage when the time is right to get you into a better one because you're going to make all your payments on time. Ask Mario about this. Tell him I sent you. 231-332-6505. NMLS number 3035. Anywhere in the United States, you can take care of or take advantage of Mario's expertise. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. It's time to get in shape. By the way, yesterday I got the run in. Not only did I eat well, I got the run in and I got the P90X in. Okay? I am up to, when I do the push-ups, Dean, so there's several sets of push-ups you do on the chest and back workout. Probably like 12 sets of push-ups. When I started, after the kidney surgery, Dean, I would do one regular push-up and then 9 from my knees. You guys know I love doing them from my knees, okay? Week 2, 2 regular push-ups and then 8 on my knees. I'm up to 6 regular push-ups, Dean, and then 4 on my knees. As soon as I get to 10, no knees. Then I just start going up each week incrementally. Before long, I'm going to be hammering out like 30 or 40 a pop, Dean. I'll be just like you, all strong. The only way you can be like me, though, Dean, is if you wear 2 masks, and I don't think you're going to do that. Okay, I digress. F45 in Byron Center. Get in shape. If you are in that community or even remotely close, reach out to them. F45training.com/Byron Center. That's the place to go, man. You're going to love this place, man. The personal workout that you get, the expertise, the training advice. It's a group setting, but it's individual, you know? And it's kind of, I've explained it before, but, you're sitting there in your own spot on the floor, socially distant, watching the monitor with the animation showing you the workout to do. It wasn't always like that. It was led in a group setting and you move from station to station. Can't do that right now. They're eventually going to get back to that when the time is right, but they've been able to stay open despite the pandemic, and that is because of the expertise of everybody at F45. F45training.com/Byron Center. Get 1 week free when you go to that website, F45training.com/Byron Center. Hang on. A little bit more. Just bent down to turn, and O'Neill is twitching like he has epilepsy. He's having a dream about something. I wish I could. You know what? I should put a mic down at floor level for when he starts to yip, because it's just because you can't hear it on these mics unless the mic is right there. It would make sense if I put a mic at floor level for when that happens next time. I think I should. I'll do that. Now watch. I'll never do it. I'll never speak of it again. Prince Armin had a class on Tuesday, and I'm wondering if they scheduled another one for CPL training in Michigan. Let me take a look here. Facebook, click more, click events. He doesn't have anything scheduled right now. Last class was this past weekend. I don't know. Maybe he's taking some time off. But if you've always, right now, everybody's buying guns. Everybody's getting their CPL. I don't know why that is. If it's just some phenomena, maybe they're all worried about Biden taking their guns away. That's not going to happen. I wouldn't worry about that shit. But every time I go to buy 22 ammo over at Dick's, everybody buys all the fucking ammo. So I'm like, guys, I need fresh ammo. This stuff is old and I want to change it out. And so all these freaking preppers go and buy all the ammo. I'm like, knock it off. So if you want to get your CPL, you don't even need to have a gun, okay? All you need is the class. You don't even need to have a gun to take the class, I should say. If you want more information, go to princearming.com or just click on the logo at ericzaneshow.com. It'll take you right to his Facebook page. And then you'll get more information. And when the next class comes up, I'll let you know. It's going to take 1 day of classwork. And then you're going to have range time. Again, you don't even have to own a gun. Just get there, give them $125, take the class, and then you get certified after you pass the test. Once you pass the test, you take the certification over to the Secretary of State or your county, and fill out the app. They'll fingerprint your ass, do a background check, couple months. It'll show up in your mail with your license. That's how you do it. And then you carry that thing concealed in the state of Michigan. That's all I can give you is the state of Michigan. I can't give you anybody else. All right. There is a new podcast coming out, and I'm not going to lie. I'm interested in it because of it's Bruce Springsteen and Barack Obama are doing an 8-episode podcast together. Now, if it's all bullshit and they're just talking about weirdo woke shit, I don't care. Okay? I don't want to hear talking points and political mumbo jumbo and bitching and moaning about this, that, and the other thing. I want stories. I want something interesting. If you give me that, I'll like that. If you give me talking points, fuck you. I don't want to hear that. As a person, as a human being, I always have liked Obama. It's like Springsteen too. I don't subscribe to what these guys do politically in any way, shape, or form, but I still like them. Imagine that in this day and age, you can actually like someone despite their political views. Fun fact, I actually spoke with Barack Obama on the Free Beer and Hot Wings show. We lucked out when he was just Senator Obama and got a chance to interview him. And it was a little weird because it was one of those him just, talking points and stuff like that. But he was very affable and friendly and had a high likability. And he went with the old, hey, I got the Free Beer and Hot Wings. Can I be the blue cheese or can I be the ranch dressing or you've got to be the ranch dressing. Where's the ranch dressing? He played that old joke. We're like, ha, ha, ho, ha. Never heard that one before. But he was all right. Nice guy. And as you know, the Springsteen story, I shook hands with the boss. I love Springsteen. I was bummed out when I found out about the drunk driving thing. That's the first thing they need to talk about in the podcast. I think it's probably already recorded. Probably. I don't think you're going to have it like this, It's going to be as slick as hell. It's going to be fantastic in terms of production, and it won't be like a ham and egger like me. But I am definitely interested. There was a news story that did a story about it, about these two doing their podcast.
Before we go, former President Barack Obama teaming up with one of America's biggest rock stars for a new podcast.
On the surface, Bruce and I don't have a lot in common. He's a white guy from a small town in Jersey. I'm a black guy of mixed race, born in Hawaii.
He's a drunk driver.
He's a rock and roll icon. I'm not as cool.
So that's Mr. Obama and rock icon Bruce Springsteen announcing their new project, Renegades, born in the USA, in which the pair relive their glory
Trump's like, fuck that. He wasn't born there. He's not. He wasn't born here.
days.
It made sense. If you're going to be a rock and roll star, you're going to play the guitar.
Guitars were cheap. I could actually work a job, which I did. I saved up $18, bought a cheap guitar. Then I started to learn some Beatles stuff. I learned Twist and Shout.
Well, play more of it.
The podcast is produced by Barack and his wife Michelle's production company called Higher Ground. It's part of an exclusive content deal with Spotify.
Renegades, born in the USA, scheduled for 8 episodes. I give props to anybody that does these podcasts because there's a lot of work that goes into it, a lot of production, and that one looks pretty good.
Not just sitting and talking.
That's not true. This podcast has like zero production.
Oh, you don't just like turn on the camera. There's editing to be done.
No, there's not. Yes, I just turn on the camera.
All kinds of stuff.
And it'll be interesting to see what they find in common.
Yeah.
Listen to these two.
Well, Inside Edition is coming up next.
Thank you so much.
So Bruce, tell me about the drunk driving. That would be the best. All right, there's an elephant in the room, Bruce, and tell me about the drunk driving. Well, I'd rather tell you about my affinity for horses. No, Bruce, tell me about the drunk driving. I'd love to hear about that. Where you actually bomb, Bruce? Well, Barack, fuck you, and they get in a fight. Yeah, I'm interested. You got me. I would love to hear that. I have yet to find one podcast. First of all, I don't like to listen to a lot of podcasts. And the part of that is if I listen to things and I'm afraid of assimilating like a podcast. Like if I listen to too much of any podcast, what I'm afraid of is that I'll start to try to do what they're doing, and it's like, I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that I keep doing what I do. So the only thing I think what I listen to the most is Bill Burr. And I don't listen to I don't listen to any podcast because I like it. There is nothing, zero. There have been some that I've followed for a little bit of time. Like, who are these podcasts? I listened for quite some time. And then I hate to say it, but I got tired of it. And I think people get tired of mine too. I mean, my God, that happens. That's why I'm constantly trying to get new audience. That's why I have you share, so that someone new will discover it. Maybe we'll be able to latch on to some more audience members. But I get fatigued, and I'm like, what is going on? How come I can't? Is that my brain? Is that an Eric problem? It probably is. I'm extremely finicky about what type of content I digest. Bill Burr. I probably listen to him the most intrinsically because it's monologue style. It's one guy speaking. Very rarely does he have more than one person in there. About the only time I ever bring somebody in here is when I bash Kenny in the face, or bring in Diana to talk about a fight that we got in or something like that, or something about the NFK. The format is similar. One person, microphone. Burr doesn't do it live, though. You can't get it live, I don't think. I don't think he does any video elements, just the podcast. But I will try that. I will listen to it. Other shows that I've liked. I listened to Stu, but I get burnt out on. I got burnt out. I got to go back and try it again. Nothing personal. I get burnt out on podcasts. There's not one that I'm like, I take it back. The only one that I really, really could not get enough of was the first Serial podcast about the dude who in Baltimore. It was a true crime thing, but I never did finish it. I ended up, fuck, I'm out of gas. I can't do it anymore. So I don't know what my problem is. I think people who are on the road for a living, that's more of a thing, I like people who drive, like Patriot Nick. He's driving right now, probably. Okay. On to the next thing. The Daimler Chrysler Jeep feeling the heat, political correctness. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. It is case by case for me. I said to you when I was giving you the rundown of what I'm talking about. Some of these, I'm like, yeah, get rid of it. And I know that some of you folks that are listening, you're like, no, say no to cancel culture. It's like, no, say yes to cancel culture. Some things do need to be canceled, okay? And if you don't agree, well, you're wrong. You're just wrong. And it's okay that you're wrong, too. Aunt Jemima, cancel. Get rid of the logo with the Aunt Jemima. Happy slave is not a thing. Uncle Ben, and I don't give a shit that the family members of Aunt Jemima, people who played Aunt Jemima, said, no, don't cancel. No, fuck you. You're not going to put a happy slave on a bottle of syrup, you dumb dicks. The fuck is wrong? Should have never been there in the first place. Uncle Ben and his rice. He's like, oh, the rice is so good. Oh my God, I love working for this. I love being a slave to this rich fucker in the South. Yeah, bullshit. A cream of wheat dickhead. Screw that guy too. Some happy chef. Fuck that shit. Screw it. Washington Redskins. No, fucking for the longest time I've been saying get rid of that. All that shit. Cleveland Indians, screw you. Atlanta Braves, go fuck yourselves. Florida Seminoles, eat shit. Central Michigan University Chippewas, I talked about it. They got to deal with the friggin' tribe. The tribe said we love it. Okay? So that's the way it goes. Okay? This. And I have never, ever once thought of the Indian tribe when I've thought of the vehicle, the Jeep Cherokee. Never once. And this story broke just the other day, or just a handful of hours ago, that the guy who's like the in charge of the Cherokee Nation, like the big chief. What do they call him? The big cheese, the Kahuna. Yeah, this guy, Chuck Hoskin Jr. is the principal chief of the Cherokee Nation. He said, "Get rid of the name Jeep Cherokee. You got to get rid of that." And when I heard that, I went, "Oh, why did it take so long for me to correlate that that's named after the Indian tribe?" I never once thought that. And as soon as I heard the story, I went, "Oh, okay. Well, let's take a look." Now, I haven't yet said how I feel about this, but let me just give you the background. Jeep Grand Cherokee, best-selling, the brand's best model, while the Jeep Cherokee is its third best-selling. Do you remember when Hot Wings and I got in that fight? When I said that the Grand Cherokee is the same thing as a Jeep Cherokee? And man, you do not want to back that. He's like the honey badger if you back him in the corner when it comes to car shit. And so I could sense right away he was getting ticked and so I dug my heels in and all you have to do is go a couple rounds of arguing and then you're full on fighting. And that's beautiful. That's a win. Okay. You got to have that conflict. And it wasn't like we said we hated each other, but he probably felt that way. He always did. Every time we would get in a fight, I found this out later. He always thought it was like real. And I was like, no, it's a show, dum-dum. So not there were times when we did fight for real, but this was not one of them. He always took it personal though. Always, every time. The Grand Cherokee and the Jeep Cherokee. Okay, so Jeep recently unveiled a redesigned version of it, and they've sold SUVs for 45 years under that name. Quote, "I think we're in a day and an age in this country where it's time for both corporations and team sports to retire the use of Native American names, images, and mascots from their products, team jerseys, and sports in general. I'm sure this comes from a place that is well-intended, but it does not honor us by having our name plastered on the side of a car," said the chief. He had initially sent the statement to Car and Driver, which first reported on the news. So basically, this guy probably sent it over to Jeep, the chief, and they're like, "Yeah, thanks," and they immediately threw it in the garbage. "Our vehicle names have been carefully chosen and nurtured over the years to honor and celebrate Native American people for their nobility, prowess, and pride," Jeep said in a statement. Well, that's a lie. There is no way 45 years ago that you named it Cherokee because you wanted to honor Native Americans. You just thought it sounded cool. I'm not saying you did it because you wanted to be disrespectful, but don't try to tell me that you did it to honor them. "We are more than ever committed to a respectful and open dialogue with Cherokee Nation Principal Chief Chuck Hoskin Jr." All right. Hoskin said, "Well, I don't see any type of arrangement under which it would be acceptable for Jeep to continue using the tribe's name on its vehicles." All right. "It's one of the most valuable things. It's a part of our identity," he said in an interview with CNN Business. "And if we wanted to match up who had the stronger claim and connection and affinity for the Cherokee's name, it would certainly be the Cherokee people." This is a tough one. "The Cherokee has been known by that name since before Europeans came in contact with them." Okay, yeah, we all know that. And then they give you the background about the Washington Redskins. Well, that's a slur, though. Okay. The Cleveland Indians baseball team, they're changing their name. Remember Land O'Lakes? They had the Indian lady on there. That was the one where if you folded it right, it would look like her, because her knees were in a certain way. If you folded it right, it would look like boobs on the Native American lady. Okay, Uncle Ben's rice, Aunt Jemima syrup. Yeah, okay, Native American. The Land O'Lakes butter, get her off of there. The Uncle Ben's rice, we talked about that. What? I'm trying to see how I can keep the Cherokee name on the truck. But I'm coming to a roadblock in my mind every time because I've set the precedent now for the Uncle Ben's rice, the Aunt Jemima, the cream of wheat asshole, and the butter chick. Yeah, there is no difference. I cannot find anything that can make me think that there is any reason why it is acceptable for the Cherokee name to be on that vehicle. So I have laid down the law. The judgment is, my opinion on this matter is that the Cherokee name must be eliminated in order to do what's right. That is what I feel. Yeah. I don't think there's any place for it. If the Cherokee Nation was like Central Michigan University and said, and they were open to it, and the discussion was made, and they felt comfortable with it, well, then that's one thing. But they're not. So, I mean, what the hell's the big deal here? What they should do, Jeep needs some good PR because, they're coming off of the Super Bowl with the ad that did not have the Upper Peninsula of Michigan on it, and then Springsteen is telling everybody to get along. Meanwhile, he's shit-faced in Asbury Park or wherever the hell he was, Sandy Hook, stumbling around, getting popped for a DUI. There's that nightmare. They need a win here, so they need to dive full in and say, you suggesting that is just what we needed. We think you're right. And then change the name. What the fuck? People are still root for the football team. People are still going to root for the baseball team. People are still going to buy the rice, buy the syrup. What's the syrup called now? Milwaukee's Best? The Aunt Jemima changed its name to Milwaukee's Best Syrup or something. What was it? It was called America's Pride or No Slave Syrup or some shit. They changed the name of it. We talked about it. Fuck. I don't remember. Anyway, they got to work on the branding. Cherokee, get rid of that shit. No way. Why? But I agree with the chief. Now, I know some of you audience members are going to sit there and scream at me and bitch and moan. Zane, you're a stupid shit. Your political correctness is off the charts. Bullshit. I don't believe a word. Go ahead. Have at it. Let me have it. Fire away with your insults. Attack me. I'm a snowflake. What else am I? What did you call me yesterday? You called me woke. You're using it in a derogatory way. Zane's way too woke now. Fuck Zane. Bullshit. I am a worldly man, and you guys don't realize how lucky you are to have me, to have such a worldly soul who is willing to walk in his fellow man's shoes, okay? I am the last bastion of everything in the world that is right. You know it, case-by-case basis. What I say is absolutely true, and you need to believe that. This is where I look at the comments, and I see, oh, my God. Nick says, it's literally hurting no one. The chief does not speak for an entire culture. Fuck him, he wrote. Spoon feed Eric. Kyler says, who are you again? Jason says, this shit's getting deep. Nick follows up with, Eric's woke. The rest of us are awake. Dennis says, this is horse shit. Dirk says, it's only offensive if you drive a red Cherokee. Tyler says, the thing with the other brands' products is that they can be construed as being offensive. What is offensive or inappropriate about the Jeep Cherokee? Well, you and I can't answer that, Tyler. We're not the Cherokee Nation, okay? So, I mean, why can't we let them decide? Why is that a big thing? I think this is another thing where I am all alone. And lately, every time I do these things, I am so alone and everybody just kicks the shit out of me. Even Joe Martinez, he even says this is bullshit. Oh, Jason tries a stupid argument. I'm sure the Lions are offended that their name is attached to such a shitty football team. Actually, that was an attempt at a joke, and it's actually pretty good. Josh writes, the Honorable Judge Eric has spoken. I think he's being really, really snarky with that. Josh says, that's it. I'm calling Cleveland and demanding that they change the name of their football team. That was named after Paul Brown. My God. All right. I know I'm going to get murdered over this one. What was the other thing that I was all alone on? Last week, it was the MMA thing, the Joe Rogan thing, after Dirk sent me another one of his 10-year-old stories, a dumb dick. Pain in the ass, Dirk. Here you go. Here's a 10-year-old story. Zane, run with it. I got murdered over that. Josh says he's offended because his last name is the same as the Cleveland football team. Shut up. My gosh. No, get rid of that shit. Jeep is feeling the heat. All right. On time, on schedule. By the way, send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com, if you twats want to disagree with me on the Shoreliners striping inbox. Hey, business owner, wouldn't you want to get a piece of this, for God's sake? Every single week, thousands, and I'm not making it up. It's a little braggy, but it's true. I'm not Joe Rogan, but I do well enough. I can get your message out. Whether your business is local to West Michigan, I can tell you the reach of that. Or if you have a way of getting your word out nationally through a website or a service that you can maintain through that type of platform, you should advertise on my podcast. I can price it accordingly based on your needs. Let's just get the ball rolling and have a conversation about it. Just email me, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Just like Joe Martinez at A&E Heating and Cooling, who has been installing the Remy Halo into homes. This is a device that's used by veterinarians and restaurants to keep the air clean. Now, the vets did it before COVID because they got sick and tired of their clients walking into the vet and it smells like a big wet bag of elephant dicks. It doesn't smell in the vets anymore because they installed the Remy Halo, cleans the air through electromagnetic spectrometry light or some shit like that. I don't know. But it gets rid of all the pollutants in the air, viruses, bacteria, allergens, pollen, any type of pet dander, little dog feces. I need one installed right in front of my face because of Bruce here shitting his pants. Man. And using it in the restaurants because they want to make sure that the air is clean for their patrons so that they can be safe from COVID. Put this in your house, especially in the winter when the home is all closed up. For a $650 installation, you're getting your air recycled every handful of minutes. Every corner of your home has the air recycled. Just keep that fan on your furnace or air conditioner. Even when the furnace is not running or the AC is not running, you're constantly recycling your air. The thing stays on and bathes the air in the light, and you have clean air. Most people charge you about $1,000. Joe's going to do it for $750. Mention the show, $650. 616-516-8579. Again, 616-516-8579. Mention me. And if you drop some forbidden Spanish on him,
Tu madre es una puta.
He'll save you $0, but probably laugh. Thank you again to A&E Heating and Cooling. I like to cycle the sponsors every week. So what was first last week, it goes to the bottom of the pile this week. So last week, those guys, A&E Heating and Cooling was first at this time, and then Bennett Flooring Installation was right at the intro. Now they got bumped down to the bottom, but that's okay because we got to make it fair for everybody. Bennett Flooring Installation wants to remind you that the idea of installing a floor with zero experience is a horrible idea. You can rip up the old flooring. Anybody can do that. Installing it, for me, I'm a little concerned about trying that because I just feel like I would get so far and then it gets ruined and then it looks like, I installed it. You want it installed by professionals. So what you do is you have them install it. So they come to your house, they measure the room. You're like, hey, I already got the flooring. I want these vinyl planks put down. Okay, yeah, great. This is what it's going to cost for us to install it. That's all you're paying for, the installation. Bennett Flooring Installation, startup business to West Michigan. Reach out to them for that free measurement to find out how much it's going to cost to get the flooring installed. Carpet, hardwood, ceramic, vinyl plank, tile, whatever it is, whatever you want, you name it, they do it. They have a website, BennettFlooringInstallation.com. Follow them on Twitter at Flooring Bennett to see the before and after shots of what they do, and that's also shown on their website. Call them, 616-318-0167. Okay, here we go. This celestial excitement is brought to you by MB Distributing. Mike Ball loves this. The video was released yesterday, and I'll link it in the show notes of the podcast. I already have posted it on my social media, and it's already at In the News of EricZaneShow.com. It's exactly what I envisioned in my brain on the Mars rover landing. It's exactly what I told you was going to happen. In fact, when I was watching it, I was marveling at the picture I painted for you without even knowing what was going to happen. Okay? I painted a very accurate description for you. I've been very humble lately. It's a perfect example of how great I am at doing this. Okay? You see on the video, okay, first it starts out, the first thing you see is blue sky, which I'm like, that's the Martian sky? What the hell am I seeing? And you see the supersonic parachute deploy. Okay, this thing's going at 1,000 miles an hour at this point, and then the parachute slows it down to 200. At this point, all you see is on the next video shot is black, and then all of a sudden the black starts to move, and then all of a sudden you realize you're looking at the heat shield being let go. I described that to you before this even happened. You see it fall to the planet, the heat shield. This is what kept all of the rovers safe as it was flying in. On the back of the rover is a jetpack that's surrounding it. It's still falling very rapidly. It's about 5 kilometers above the surface of Mars, and you see all of the craters, and it's red, and it's awesome, and you're seeing the thing sway. The camera view is swaying because it's on a parachute. Then as they get closer, they fire the rockets, and you notice that it steadies. It stops swaying. That's because the rocket has stopped all of that, and it's now a stable descent, slowing very, very, or dropping very, very slowly. It gets so close to the surface of Mars that you're seeing the dust kick up, okay? Dust that hasn't moved in millions of years. You're watching the dust is going, oh, fuck. Can you imagine if you're some creature there that happens to be alive on the surface of Mars underneath the dirt? You're like, what the fuck is going on? No one told me that. I didn't sign up for this. What the fuck is happening? Then you see a view from the rover looking up at the jetpack as the sky crane lowers it. You see the rope lowering it down in a split screen style. You're looking up at the sky and the jetpack and the rope or cable. And you see on the other view, Mars getting very, very close, like feet. It touches the camera on the rover looking up at the jetpack, sees the rope get cut or the cable get cut, and then you see flying away the jetpack. It's going to go and detonate and impact on the surface because we don't need it anymore. Fuck that shit. And it did it exactly the way they intended to. Exactly. And then it's down there like, hey, what the hell's going on? I'm a rover. It's as big as an SUV right away. Cameras. And then you actually see that jetpack fly away. And the fact that they put all of this programming into it, and it was not run by a computer, or no one did this. It did it on its own. You must acknowledge how amazing this is. And that video is just the shit. Oh my God. And then the microphones are set up. This is the audio of what Mars sounds like. This has obviously never happened before. This is what Mars sounds like. Are you ready?
Fuck off, I'm hammered.
That's what they heard. They heard it.
Fuck off, I'm hammered. Are we going to beer bong another third beer?
Totally kidding. It's really not eventful at all. It sounds like this. That's it. It's just wind. Listen, that's the wind hitting the mic. The Martian wind. One more time. I like this better.
Fuck off, I'm hammered.
All right, let's listen in. What do we got? So when I saw the parachute deploy and how the blue sky, my first thought was, it's not that bad there. I bet you we could survive. Oh, my God. I love this stuff so much. I actually got an email from Zaniac Kyle. Was it Zaniac Kyle? Not Kyle. Never mind. I don't want to even say the joke. I'm going to record on the joke. You know what the hell I was going to do. Who was it? It was Kyle. Hey, Eric. First HD pics of Mars rover landing looked incredible. Make sure you forward this on to Mike Ball. LOL. More celestial excitement talk, please. Have a good one, Zaniac, Kyle, Tomei, and GR. Emailer Tim wrote, woke Cherokee Eric, fuck it and fuck you. I'm out. All right. Pain in the ass Dirk wrote, a search for plane motors came up for unmanned remote controlled aircraft. Otherwise, they're commonly referred to as jet engines or just engines. Does General Motors make cars that fly now? This is why, you dick. You have earned the name Pain in the Ass Dirk. You are a pain in the ass. You have worked very hard at that. In fact, this is what we need to do. We need to give an award. We need to give an award. You have earned this. The asshole of the day. This is why I got the asshole of the day dry erase board. Thank you again to Zaniac Tim Kuiper for when the audience actually infuriates me. And Dirk gets it for not only that email, but for all the fucking stupid emails he sends me from the Washington Examiner and his stupid fucking propaganda sites that he sends me all the time. What a cock. You have earned the asshole of the day. Congratulations to you. Zaniac Joey Williamson, who I had on the show for talking about congenital heart defects, writes, Eric, what are your thoughts on UFC fighter Rafael Alves being 11.5 pounds over the weight limit for his fight this weekend? A featherweight flyweight max is 146 pounds. Alves weighed 157.5. He was actually even heavier than the next weight class above. He claims he was ill, but don't you think he and his training camp should have managed it better? Well, yeah, I think his training camp should have managed it better. By the way, I saw the highlights of that UFC fight over the weekend where that dude, the big fat ass dude, the two black guys were fighting. I don't know their names. The one guy, the fat ass black guy is fighting the guy who's in shape. Guy who's in shape was supposed to win. And he's like, I guess, a better wrestler. But fat-ass black guy is known for his punching power. You know what he's not known for? Style. Because he was throwing these stupid, ugly haymaker, straight-arm punches. Like, I mean, he was like going, these big haymakers. And he got lucky and connected on an uppercut with this guy. And that's the one thing you don't want to have happen, apparently. I don't know shit about UFC, but some big, giant dude cracked one right on this guy's head, and he went nighty-night. Dude goes down. Then fat-ass black guy gets on top of him and starts hammer punching him. Oh, my God, it was horrible. Oh, shit. So that was that. And then the guy laid there for like 5 minutes. He was nighty-night for like 5 minutes, and he finally sat over there. Where the fuck am I? I'm ready to start the next round. Oh, my God. By the way, Joey Williamson's, he reached out to, I forgot what the name of the wrestler was. Who was that wrestler that reached out to you? Joey Williamson is a huge wrestling fan and one of the stars of the WWE last week after SmackDown. Is it Cicero? Is that the name of a wrestler? Yeah, I think that is his name. Cicero. That is like Joey's favorite wrestler. And this guy, Cicero, finished his match the other day on SmackDown and actually took the time to talk into a camera, which the WWE sent to Joey, encouraging him about, Joey has to live his life with this congenital heart defect, and Joey has been working very hard to spread the word about the awareness of that. And this guy was like encouraging him to do that. It was great. It was really, really awesome. I was so pleased that guy did that. A hell of a guy. Great move by him. I love that. Wrestling's come a long way from when like Dr. D, David Schultz would like smack John Stossel in the face or some shit like that. It's like a totally different animal now. Great show. I used to dog wrestling, but am I saying it's wrong? Cicero? Did I say Cicero? I don't know shit. Cicero. All right. Patriot Nick says, I'm getting Eric a shirt that says, I don't know shit about shit. You know what? Don't do that. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make that shirt. I am yet one step closer to getting the new website with new T-shirts made. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the old T-shirt archive up there, and then I'm going to make new T-shirts. And that's a good thing I can put on a T-shirt. He doesn't know shit about shit. But I'd have to like make an asterisk or like a pound sign. I don't know if I want to put the obscenity on it because people probably won't buy it if it says the swear word. And you guys know I'm pretty woke. I don't want to offend anybody, I can get a T-shirt. It says "Cancel the Grand Cherokee." What do you think about that? Would you guys buy a shirt if it said "Cancel the Grand Cherokee"? You dicks, fucking Dirk, your laughy emojis pissing me off. Tyler says, is this the first time a Zaniac has won the asshole of the day? And it is, in fact. I got to make sure you can see it there. Yes, it is true. Dirk is the asshole of the day. It's the first time officially that a Zaniac has won it. Jackass. Fuck. Okay. Coming up in 56 minutes, we will get to Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia. Dale's taking on the Candy Crush Queen of America. That is the one and only Linda Hall. So that will be then, and then the Patreon bonus shortly thereafter, because we got a big, long, fat, ugly day today. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you. Thanks for putting up with me. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.